Why do you think the sector has held up relatively well so far?
The office sector has long dated leases, is the short answer. Usually, a lease will last 5 years, maybe 10 years, which gives a lot of cushion in terms of how long it takes these things to unfold. So, as if a tenant was deciding to downsize after COVID, really now would be probably the first time they could start thinking about getting out of some of these leases.
And a lot of people would go, in 5 or 10 years, we're all going to go back to normal and we're going to forget that weird period during the pandemic. Why might that not be the case?
Goodness. It does feel like there may have been a more permanent shift towards work from home or hybrid. You're completely right. There is a sense that we may just completely revert back. And if we do, then the office sector will certainly be fine. But technology has come a long ways over the last even 2 years. And so it makes it quite feasible for companies that want to trim costs that they may really look towards more hybrid working go forward.
Yeah, your survey shows that global demand for offices could drop 10 to 20% in the long run. Can you name names? I mean, who is most vulnerable and most resilient to this, do you think?
Generally speaking, office tenants are looking for high quality properties. So overall, we like new properties, Class A properties, and well-located properties. Most at risk are things that have some age on them. Older office buildings, perhaps those that are not as well located, may have more difficulty holding on to tenants.
Yes. So we're showing a number of the publicly traded names there. Should we assume that most of the big publicly traded firms have, the kinds of investments that can keep their office space new and, or are there even among publicly traded players some differentiation we can identify?
By and large, the publicly traded REITs do have very high quality office portfolios. And on top of that, in general, they have sufficient cash to do whatever upgrades are necessary to maintain the quality of their portfolios. We're less concerned about what's held in the public office REITs than we are more in the one-off ownership properties.
Yeah, right, which could affect people who might have made smaller, people are often looking to real estate as an investment right now, and commercial real estate may show some more vulnerabilities perhaps. What does it mean for leases? At a very inflationary time, could this actually keep leases trailing inflation and hurt profit margins for some of these major players?
It is quite likely. There is this thought that commercial real estate is an inflation hedge, but really that only works when supply and demand dynamics are in balance. For this, it will be very difficult for office owners to push rents given the high levels of vacancy that are out there.
And what does that imply for their valuations?
So valuations will depend on both the rents and also cap rates. Neither one of these are particularly moving in the right direction for office owners at the current moment. I think best case scenario, office prices will be flat.
Is it fair to say you're relatively bearish on the group for the time being then?
It certainly sounds like it, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but I wanted it to be your words and not mine. Lea, it's great to have you here. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time today.
Yeah.